My goodness, it's touchy. Well, thanks for your patience, everyone. We meet today in sadness, but also in joy, because the chapter is closed, but we are joyful by the closing of a new chapter that a new one may begin. We're gathered this evening to celebrate the life of our friend Candace Ross, a woman called Peace, for whom this incarnation has ended. We meet to commend her to the care of the goddess, that she may rest free from illusion or regret until the time shall come again for her rebirth to this world. And knowing that this shall be so, we know that the sadness is nothing and the joy is all. And now we'll have grounding and centering with Spinner.
Thank you. Let's begin by taking a few soft, slow breaths together, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth at whatever speed feels most perfect for you. Breathing deeply and naturally. Softening the belly, allowing ourselves to feel. Softening the jaw, allowing ourselves to relax. As we breathe, we become aware of our feet and our connection to the earth below. We feel the chair that we're sitting in and the support that our bodies are given. And knowing that we are supported, we can move and we can breathe. And we can know that we are relaxed and that we are breathing because we have consciousness in us. And this is what it feels like to be alive, to be embodied at this time. Let us savor the gift of this breath, the gift of this consciousness, the gift of this life. And as we breathe, we become connected, inspired, and present in this moment. We are aware of our connection to the earth, and so we feel grounded. We are aware that we are alive, and so we are conscious. And we are connected in a circle of memory and honor for our dear friend Candace. And we are grateful to be here now. Take 2 more breaths and slowly blink your quiet eyes.
Our good friend Candace Ross has crossed the veil between this life and the next. Candace, who has always been a shining example of what it means to be of service to others, told me many times about how much she loved her life, her children, the land, and the opportunities she was given to serve her fellow life tribe of mankind. She envisioned this planet at some point in time as being known not only as Earth, but the planet Peace. Candace worked for and dreamed of the time when we would all be concerned with taking care of one another and seeing ourselves as its caregivers and protectors of the world we have been given for a time. I am sure that she would wish that everyone takes the time this season to plant some flowers for the bees, create a critter altar to feed small creatures, take care to stop and move the worms from the sidewalk back into the grass, and leave some seeds for the birds. These are offerings you are making to Spirit and things that make us strong and remind us daily to be kind. Candace would remind us to check on our friends and neighbors and to be of service when you're able, to share the kindness, to share the love. In honor of her, we center her requiem on the themes of service, peace, and gratitude.
After she passed, a poem that was given to me with words that she used to say, and I was asked to set them to music. And so I thought it would be nice to share this song with you, this post-mortem co-creation, and that we could sing it together, all in response style. So the words say, I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for this day. As I breathe, love flows into me. As I sing, love flows out of me. And then we can change love for peace and light. So I'll sing and then you respond. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for this day. You try. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for this day. As I breathe, love flows into me. As I sing, love flows out of me. As I breathe, love flows into me. As I sing, love flows out of me. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for this day. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for this day. As I breathe, peace flows into me. As I sing, peace flows out of me. As I breathe, peace flows into me. As I sing, peace flows out of me. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for this day. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for this day. As I breathe, light flows into me. As I sing, light flows out of me. As I breathe, light flows into me. As I sing, light flows out of me. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for this day. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for this day. As I breathe, love flows into me. As I sing, love flows out of me. As I breathe, love flows into me. As I sing, love flows out of me. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for this day. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful this day. As I breathe, I feel light flow into me. As I sing, light flows out of me. As I breathe, light flows into me. As I sing, light flows out of me. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for this day. I'm so grateful for As I sing, peace flows out of me. As I breathe, peace flows into me. As I sing, peace flows out of me. All together. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for this day. One more time. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for this day.
Thank you, Abigail. And now we will invite the directions, beginning in the east.
We call upon the spirits of the east, powers of the air, and ask for your blessings on this circle. Fill our minds with the image of a world at peace. Let us see it so vividly that peace manifest on the earth today and for all days to come. Powers of air, be welcome in our circle. Blessed be.
We call upon the spirits of the south, powers of fire, and ask for your blessings on our circle. Fill our hearts with desperate longing for peace and freedom for all people. Let our flame burn so brightly that the world catches on fire with our passion. Powers of fire, be welcome in our circle. Blessed be.
Blessed be. We call upon the spirit of the west, powers of water, and ask for your blessings on our circle. Fill our dreams with visions of peace and compassion. Let these visions fill the astral until all who dream of peace. Powers of water, be welcome in our circle. Blessed be. Blessed be.
We call upon the spirit of the north, powers of earth, and ask for your blessings on our circle. Fill us with the strength to live lives of peace and love. Let our commitment to nonviolence spread from root to branch and into every life. Powers of earth, be welcome in our circle. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
We call upon the spirits of the cosmos, power of above, and ask your blessings on this circle. May the brightness of sun, moon, and stars fill us with light and guide us in peace and humility, that we may see divinity in each other. Powers of above, be welcome in our circle. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
We call upon the spirits of silence, powers of below, and ask your blessings on this circle. Let your cool, quiet darkness enfold and nurture us, that we may grow and nurture others with peace and compassion. Powers of below, be welcome in our circle. Blessed be.
Blessed be. We call upon the spirits of enlightenment, powers of within, and ask your blessings on this circle. Lead us ever inward to the core of our being, that we may know truth, beauty, peace, and tranquility. Let our oneness with all life fill us with joy. Powers of within, be welcome in our circle. So mote it be.
And let us now invoke Sekhmet. Sekhmet, roamer of deserts, the truth of life occurs at the intersection of dreaming and waking. Walk with us on our journey of discovery to the center of ourselves. Let us hear your deep rumbling purr as we enter the dream time. Let us ride upon your back. Allow us to remember the experience of our natural spirits in the dream world. Sekhmet, Lady of the Way of the Five Bodies, help us to integrate our walking lives with the dream time. Sekhmet, you who are the end inherent in the beginning, scythe to the ripe grain and fall of berries, and the coming of night, you who are called the implacable one, but we know you as the great gracious goddess, healer of sorrow and relief of pain. Receive our sister Candace. May she become a star in the night sky cauldron, and we be brewed back to life.
Behold, I am Sekhmet, the ancient one, the one who was before the gods were, the lady of the place of the beginning of time. I am older than time itself. I am the lady of the red garment. the one who brings justice and avenges wrongs. I am the keeper of the light, protectress of the divine order, overcomer of all enemies, the one who holds back darkness. I am the one before whom evil trembles. I am the great defender. I protect my children with the fiery passion of a lioness. I hear your cries. None shall harm you. With my mighty arm I shield and defend you. I surround you with my love. When you are hurt, I heal you. I am the great one of healing, the dryer of tears, and my love never ends. I am the lady of strong love. I am the lady of transformations, the awakener, the guardian of the gates. I reveal the ancient paths. I am the giver of ecstasies and the satisfier of desires. I enlighten and I empower. I reduce to silence and I rouse the people. I ask only that you love me. And when you see injustice, when you see my daughters and sons oppressed, starved, harmed, when you see my earth devastated and polluted, do not mildly sit back, but rise with my strength and return righteousness to the land. Sa, Sekim, Sahu.
Pass through the portal, go through the gate, enter and be reborn. Pass through the portal, go through the gate, enter and be reborn. Pass through the portal, go through the gate, enter and be reborn. Pass through the portal, go through the gate, enter and be reborn. What would you remember now, guys? 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 All things change. 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 Pass through the portal, go through the gate,
Let us share our memories of Candace. Candace, you are gone now. We know that you can take nothing with you but our memories and love. We have gathered them to offer you to you now. We will start with Laura Lynn, then Naheem, then November. If you wish to speak, please raise your hand so an usher can give you the mic. For those joining us on Zoom, the host will unmute you when it is your turn to share. Share your stories and remembrance of Candace. Say to her what you wanted to say to her but did not have the chance to say.
Dang, I hate that. Well, Candace was very special to me. She introduced me to goddess spirituality and to Sekhmet, and helped me find a path to her that way. And she was very accepting of everyone, and that was something I always enjoyed very much about her. And let's put myself on them. She was always willing to help anyone and to, give them any amount of aid that she could. And I think the world would be a better place if more of us could follow her example. Blessed be.
The first time I met Candace, I was lost, figuratively and literally. It was our first time going up to the temple. I was very nervous. We parked on the wrong side, and it was dark. So dark we could see the Milky Way. And we didn't know that there was a bridge from where that was to get to the pavilion where the potluck was being held. So over the rocks we climbed, and we finally made it to the pavilion, and we were so welcomed warmly by her. And she sat with Mom and I for a bit and talked with us, and really made me feel at home. And what a feeling that was, and how welcoming she was to everyone. And I remember before she retired, she was very, very tired all the time. But I would go up and help out around the temple, and she would always, "This is all I need you to do. Are you hungry? I'll make you some soup." And then she would just, even towards the end, so helpful and so gracious for everyone.
Even though I've had a number of weeks, actually months, to think about what I'm going to say, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to say. But I knew Candace when she first started at the temple. And not long after she was there, we took a road trip to Tijuana. We went to San Diego, then down to Tijuana. We took water, drinkable water, and we took school supplies. And Marty went on that road trip, Joan Wells, me, and Candace. And it was amazing, so fascinating. We were in the poorest section of Tijuana. And to get down to where we needed to go, we went down a rather steep hill, dirt road. But with the four of us in the car would not make it back up that steep hill. And so we were a little concerned about being able to get out and come home. But finally we got out, and somebody drove it up, and we were there. But we had to go there to see this most incredible statue of the Virgin of Guadalupe. Most incredible statue I've ever seen. And I think we have pictures of it somewhere. That's the statue you were wondering, what is that? Yeah, it's beautiful. Well, we served on the Interfaith Council of Southern Nevada for years and years and years. We'd attend meetings together. And at one meeting, we happened to be at the Scientology church. And we went around and introduced ourselves. And she said, "My name is Candace. I'm a priestess at the Temple of Goddess Spirituality dedicated to Sekhmet." Then she handed me this microphone. I said, "My name is Candace, and I'm a priestess at the Temple of Spirituality dedicated to Sekhmet." And then with a straight face, I said, "At the temple, we are all called Candace." And they fell for it. They really did. But that was the kind of sense of humor we had. We joked about that forever. Our name is the same and spelled the same way, and that's unusual. We both love the number 9, was our lucky number, and we both loved frogs. And I was so honored to be able to serve with her and to learn from her for so many years. I'm grateful for that. Somebody else? And here's Cody.
I knew Candace for almost 10 years, almost since she started working there. And she was always so kind, and she always had time for us. Even if I was just meditating in the temple, or she'd take me back to the guest house for tea, it was always, you are welcome and you are important and I want to spend time with you. And I will never forget one of the kindest things she ever did for me was my wife and I had been, wanting to get married. And at the last minute, we got a early Christmas bonus so we could afford the paperwork. And the day before her Yule celebrations, so one of the biggest things all year, she took time out of her day to braid us a hand fasting cord, and we went down there after work, so we're talking like almost 9 o'clock at night in the pitch black and the cold, and she's standing around the fire marrying me and my wife. We were the first legal gay marriage out of the temple, and Sherry was there with us that night. And it just so happened that all the timing was right for her to be there and my sister to be there. And it was very special, even though it was so few people, because she was like, no, come on down, it's fine. I was like, are you sure? But it meant so much to us, and I will never, ever forget it. And I miss her.
Before I stepped down from Pagan Pride for health reasons, one of our Pagan Prides, one of the most successful ones, was held at the temple. I remember setting up the negotiations with her, talking with her, and a lot of people in the community helped out really greatly to make it a very successful that everybody enjoyed. It was a long trip. She'd always have tea for us if we had a meeting with the groups and stuff. A very wonderful lady. For the short time I knew her, she was very kind and very kind-hearted.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Candace. No. Hello, Dolly. Segment Temple means a lot to us. And this woman is part of it, and so are you. And so is she. She has brought so much, just wonderful things and I only had an opportunity to meet her a couple times, but I always ask so many questions. What the hell are you living up in this freaking truck? And then I just saw the magic, and the magic was magical. And so I have to say that that woman sparked Las Vegas and our surrounding, and the Indians, everything into a magical sphere. And so, Candace, I salute you. And may their endeavors continue. Thank you.
And you were ordained at the temple.
Whole bunch of us were. We are. We are so sorry. We are.
We are.
My name is Irma, and I'm with Inner Circle Sanctuary. And we would hold our Sabbats, our summer Sabbats, out at Sekhmet Temple when Candace was in charge. And I have to tell you, she would walk the grounds while we were out there working on the ground and setting up our circle. And she carried herself with such a regalness, but a down-to-earth one where she was approachable. And she always came over and talked to us and wished us well. And I remember how my heart burst a little bit when she finally met my high priestess, Lady Joanna. And I was like, oh my God, 2 liters. It was the greatest thing. But she was the epitome of community. That's what I saw when I looked at her, was her willingness and ability to want all of the community, goddess worshiping, pagan, to come together, to share space. And that's what we loved about the grounds. And it was very sad to hear that she had passed. But I have to say, I think we are all better for have known her.
Every time that we were up at the Temple of Sekhmet, which Lady Laurelyn hooked up for us with Candace, it was always a very welcome feeling that Candace provided, and we thanked her, and she was just super humble about everything. We spent a lot of time up there singing. I hope we didn't keep you up at night when we were out there. And we would invite her to our circles, and by that time with the sun going down and everything, she said, oh, thank you, but you do your thing. And the one time she said, I do a lot of rituals, so I'm just going to take a night off here. But I have to say, I am sure she is here in spirit and loving what gratitude we all feel for her and this beautiful ritual that you've set up to remember her with. Thank you.
My name is Joanne. I'm High Priestess of Inner Circle Sanctuary. And when I met Candace out at Sekhmet Temple, I thought she radiated graciousness and acceptance of everyone. And the peacefulness about her was all-encompassing. So I really miss her, even though I didn't know her that well.
My name is David. I was once initiated in the temple. I got to meet Candace shortly after she came on, and was able to help participate in moving furniture out of the guest house and lifting the floor so that she could install new flooring. That was a lot of work in the middle of a really hot summer. I wrote something for her. I'm here to honor Candace Peace for her radical acceptance and unequivocal inclusivity, for supporting gender diversity in leadership and community, in a temple which stands on the land of the Shoshone people, a people who before colonization recognized many different genders and who resisted, a people who are still making room for expansion of gender identity and expression. For your courage to love and support those who are different, for being a protector of the soul of the land, thank you. Hail to the traveler.
Hello. I think what I remember most about Candace is when she first came to the Sekhmet Temple, into this community, she had really, really big shoes to fill from our 2 previous priestesses. And I think a lot of us in the community weren't sure about this lady. But she came in with a steadfastness and a humbleness and a commitment to doing the work of not only the goddess, but her own personal ethics. And I really admired how her morals and her personal ethics informed her spirituality. And little by little, and without a lot of fanfare and a lot of drama, she settled in and grounded that community. And like many others have said here, everyone who came in contact with her was made to feel welcome and a part of the community. She helped so many of us throughout the years, whether with pagan pride and offering advice, to holding space in ritual, holding space for us in our private moments. She was such a benefit to this community and such a shining light. And as Miss Irma said, all of us are better for knowing her. All hail the traveler.
All hail the traveler.
Hello, my name's Mary Lou. Know a lot of you. I kind of had a different relationship with Candace. I met her in 2000, right before I met the Jeff and Abby and tribe, probably 2008, and just went out there, took a trip out there with some sisters. We were all in a very fractured state of mind. We might not have known it, but when I look back, we all know it now, right? And so we just kind of, it's kind of a cool story for me. I didn't know it was Shoshone land. I didn't really know anything other than it was just out there, and it was, and I met her briefly, and you know, she was very humble, and she was just what the three of us needed at that time, and we needed to just be left to roam and be with the land and be with the circles and be in the fairy garden. And so fast forward, she was a Code Pink Woman for Peace. So have I been, and many of my sisters. And so met her through Nevada Desert Experience and the Sacred Peace Walk. And so would see her at least a couple times a year, you know. She would come out and she was there. I mean, she would host, you know, for a week. She would host us for a week on that 70-mile trek from, you know, Vegas to Mercury, the most bomb place on the planet. And she'd always make a piece cake. She would always make a piece cake. And, you know, she, in her earlier years, like within the last 10 years, I mean, she would be up all day and into the night. She'd be the last one to bed, and she'd be the first one up. And like so many, you know, of us women do, take care of everybody, right? And she always, you know, always was there, and she was always making coffee in the morning. And I mean, sometimes there'd be 50 people on that peace walk, you know, just sprawled throughout the area there. So, so that was pretty cool. Did a little bit of Code Pink work with her, which was very cool. And then fast forward, you know, about 7 years ago, met Johnny and the Shoshone tribe and folks. And then my relationship with her became a little different because we would come and go as we traveled and stop out there and walk the land. And, you know, she took on and I love you, Candace, love you. She took on a really formidable role. And so our friendship got to the point when we would stop out there, sometimes together, sometimes individually, you know, just by myself. But she would always want to sit and have tea. And so I'd go sit and have tea with her and the kiddies, and I would listen. You know, she was happy, but she was overwhelmed, right? She was confident, but she was afraid, you know. She was hot in the summer, she was cold in the winter, but she knew she was doing what she wanted to do, you know, and she wished there were more activists, you know, in the community. And we would talk about that a lot. And we would talk about, you know, Genevieve and the relationship with the land and with the people and with the temple as a whole, you know, the really beautiful things and the things that were trying at times. And so that was the kind of relationship I had with her, and hadn't seen her, you know, in a couple years because of COVID, but knew she was sick early on. She was just a really good sister and friend. There was lots of tumultuousness surrounding the land out there, as you all know, from time to time. Sometimes it ended in joy, and sometimes it didn't end in joy, right? And then you've got the Shoshone Nation, you know, who actually, it's their treaty land, so you got that whole piece too. So she and I got to know each other pretty well. Sometimes we'd just take a walk and we'd cuss. Seriously, right? But most times, you know, anyhow, it was a really good relationship, and I felt her getting sick, and we talked about that. We talked about Pennsylvania. We're both from Pennsylvania, right? We're really close, but grew up really close to each other. So she did some confiding in me, and I did lots of confiding in her. And I'd seen her very happy, and I've seen her very scared. And I was just grateful that she held space out there. It was formidable, right? So I'm happy she's free because I saw her suffer, lots of different ways. Sometimes just a little, sometimes more than a little. She always got back up every day. And I'll finish with remembering when she started saying no, right? Like when we had big groups out there, she eventually started saying no. She said, I'm not getting up at 4 in the morning. Here's the coffee, here's the muffins, here's the fruit, here's the milk, right? Here's the blankets, here's the linens, in her later years. So anyhow, I love you, and happy journey. I know you're strong and standing there going, yeah, all of that. So.
I think I better stand up for this one. My name is Johnny Bob, Western Shoshone Indian, spiritual person, and I do a lot of traveling, doing ceremonies, get together with the other native people and the non-natives. I've been across the oceans, Geneva, Hawaii, in my own countries, been traveling, watching the people, learning things. That's how I grew up. I met Candace way long time ago. She was a woman that would do her job, and we gave her that goodness from our heart to run that building over there at Cactus Springs, and she could do whatever she wants. So she continuing on raising money, getting donations, getting money from us, and he paid her rent. He paid her whatever she had to do to keep up the land. And he keep telling her, says, you're a good woman. You could stay there. You don't have to pay us anything. But I want to, she says. This land here is Shoshone land. Shoshone land that stretches from Idaho, Utah, all the way down to California. Most of the Shoshone land is connected, all that connected with Nevada. That's a big country. And as we talk, we just talk about my people, Shoshone treaty, Shoshone thing here and there, that continuing in her blood that she is welcome on this land. Well, now that she's gone, we're going to miss her. We do miss her. The love and the hope and the hugs she gave all of us. She gave us that love from our Mother Earth. I said, that's where we come from, our Mother Earth, and the water that we swam in. As we talk, everything started becoming clearer, and she got comfortable. We're continuing on talking. It went up way above our heads. But that love from the earth, we connect with it. All that good feelings from that Mother Earth, we connected to it. From the day we're born, the day we're going to pass. That makes us feel good. So we continue with our work in a good way. I'm gonna miss Candace. I love her. She took care of me. She took care of everybody that came to her with food, water, handing her some good stuff. And she was happy. She was proud. She likes all the people. She likes her family. We're all families, you know. She loved her family. We all take care of each other. There's probably more to say, but we can't really think about all the things. But I love all of you. We're the people. We're the family. We're one because we have this one Mother Earth that we live on, one fire to cook on. Oh, another thing about my kids. They love Candace. Candace loves them. And I told Candace, darn, I'm getting hungry. And then Candace says, well, we'll cook something. He says, well, let me go get some rabbit for dinner or something. There's chicken over there too. in the yard. That's my food. Here's my food. A lot of animals are my food. We pray for them. We take care of them. We feed them with our prayers. But one day, my daughter was watching the geese, the chickens, and the ducks. One of them made noise. Can't remember what she said. One of the animals made noise. And my daughter, Deanna, says, Adfax, Adfax. Am I saying it right? Adfax. That made Candace laugh. She couldn't stop remembering it. She always tells me that all the time when I see her. That was funny. Well, we sure gonna miss you, Candace. We're still missing you. It's been a long time since you got sick that I have seen you. Last flowers pretty, pictures pretty, everything all around us is all pretty. Now you have gone back to our Mother Earth to take care of us with our prayers that we pray with you and by remembering what you used to do, remembering all the things that you did for us to feed us, give us water, and a lot of prayers. Oh, actually,
Thank you. You know, it's always a mistake to give an historian the microphone. The first Samhain I did with Candace, we did a kind of a sort of a guided meditation where you were dying and you went to the underworld, and Hecate was there to meet you. Well, Candace was Hecate, and she was sitting in the temple, and you would go in and you look up, gaze up at Hecate's face, and I thought, oh, I hope when I go that Hecate has as much love in her eyes as Candace did.
Do we have anyone who would like to share on Zoom? Okay.
Hi, I'm Laura Marie. I'm happy to speak about Candace for a moment, who married me and my spouse, Ming. 9 years ago. When I think of Candace, I think of the gardening that she did, the beautiful roses she grew, and the beautiful herbs in the garden. I think of her kindness to animals because she had those sweet doggies that she would care for, and the cats who she would care for. And every time we came, we would ask and want to see the dogs and the cats. I think of our tea times, how supportive she was to Nevada Desert Experience and all the peace walkers, and how hard she worked to help us as we went to the test site and we prayed there. And she was in that movie Holy Week that was made about the peace walk. And I love that scene where we could see Candace calling the directions in the temple and the fires going, and it's so beautiful. And one of the things I loved most about her was how she was a stabilizing force in my life. She modeled to me that all bodies are valid bodies, and to be strong in who we were, and that we were good enough. I love that about her, and how I would see her at these intervals and feel strengthened after I saw her. I love how she modeled that self-love to me. And I also loved her dedication to joyful work and welcoming the gift of song in that temple space and in the guest house space. Her kind empress energy was healing for me. And yeah, she married us under that tree that was by the pavilion, the same day that Johnny married us and our friend Felicia married us. But probably my very favorite thing about Candace was how she was building bridges, because a lot of people would say that they loved all people or they wanted peace, but Candace really did love all people. Like the elders at the old folks group that was in town that she would meet with, sometimes those elders seemed maybe real conservative or real different in their values and beliefs. But Candace would love those people, and she would love all of the very goddess loving people who would come, and the curious people, and just that bridge building where she wasn't just liking people who were like her. She was really loving all the people. And that's what I wish for to be too, and wish for the world, that the peace isn't just a notion or when it's easy, but the peace is real of the connection. So I'll always be grateful to her, and keep a frog near my altar, a little frog sculpture, for my love of her. And I honor her as one of the mothers who has most nourished me. I remember her in my Mother's Day prayers, and always wish blessings to those powerful, strong, beautiful mothers who are so nourishing. Thank you.
I'm going to try not to cry here. I still miss Candace a whole bunch. I was very blessed to know her for the 8 years that I know her, and I think I can sum everything up in about 3 words, and that would be love, honor, and gratuity. And it is true. Candace loved everybody. It didn't matter who. She just put that love out there, and she just exuded it. She'd be up at 4:30 in the morning loving the critters too. She'd put the little worms back in the grass, and she'd make sure even the bugs got transplanted from her roses to someplace else. She loved being of service and cleaning Sekhmet's temple, and it was such an honor for her to do this. And it was just to watch somebody who's such a model of love and honor, and the gratuity that she gave every day, even to the very end. She would say she loved her life. No matter what happened and what happened at the end, she loved her life. She was grateful for it. And she loved everybody around her. And I'm going to stop talking so I can stop crying. So sorry. I miss you, Candace, so much. Candace There are many of the rich memories you have left for us. We can never speak enough of you, and we will continue to tell tales of you. May the offerings we have made here help you on your journey. May our voices become a river of power to help guide you across the sunless sea to the Isle of Apples, the island of rebirth, the Summerland. Be free, be strong, be proud of who you have been. Know you will be remembered and mourned and missed, that no one can replace you, that you have loved and are beloved.
Thank you, Sherry. Was there anyone else on Zoom who had something they needed to share? Okay, thank you. May the air carry your spirit gently. May the fire release your soul. May the water cleanse you. May the earth receive you. May the wheel turn again and bring you to rebirth. A silver cord joins the astral and the physical bodies. On death it is severed, as it is said, or ever the silver cord be loosened, or the golden bowl be broken. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return to the goddess who gave it. We call to thee, bright fertile mother, thou who art the womb of rebirth, from whom all manifested life proceeds, and at whose flowing breast all are nourished. We commend to thee, Candace, our sister. Take her, guard her, guide her. Bring her in the fullness of time to a new birth and a new life. And grant that in that new life she may be loved again as we have loved her. For anyone who is close enough to the temple in Cactus Springs, I am sure Candace, who was a priestess of the temple for 12 years of her life, would like to know that you visited again and left an offering for the land and for our planet. Perhaps walk the labyrinth and think about the concept and the act that is kindness. Leave an offering for Sekhmet. Candace's friends will all be working for her peaceful crossing, and that the next life is as beautiful as was her heart in this one. I, for one, will always remember her for being a remarkable woman. who never gave up or gave in, and to create art wherever we can, because any act of creativity is an offering to Spirit. And even if it only makes one other person in this world smile. This simple effort represents that you did your part to add joy and happiness to the world around you.
A prayer for peace. I ask all the animals to open their mouths to howl this prayer for peace. I ask all the birds to lift their songs to the winds. And sing this prayer for peace. I ask all the trees and flowers, all that is green and growing, to open their hollow throats where the sap runs, to call this prayer for peace. I ask the rocks to dream this prayer for peace. I ask the sand to rearrange its grains and write this prayer for peace. I ask the ocean waves to shout this prayer for peace, or whisper it on the lonely listening beaches, where the rivers will send it upstream in the willing breath of fish. I ask the stars to shine the spelling of this prayer for peace. I ask every candle flame to ignite this prayer for peace, so that this prayer is in the world and of the world and becomes the world, and the world is at peace.
Let there be peace, deep like a river. Let there be dreams filling the sky. Let there be hope, shout from the mountain in a never-ending cry. Let there be peace, deep like a river. Let there be dreams filling the sky. Let there be hope, shout from the mountain in a never-ending cry. Let there be peace, deep like a river. Let there be dreams filling the sky. Let there be hope, shout from the mountain in a never-ending cry. Let there be peace, deep like a river. Let there be dreams filling the sky. Let there be hope, shout from the mountain in a never-ending cry. Let there be peace, deep like a river. Let there be dreams filling the sky. Let there be hope, shout from the mountain in a never-ending cry. Let there be peace, deep like a river. Let there be dreams filling the sky. Let there be hope, shout from the mountain in a never-ending
We will now thank the directions, beginning with within. Spirits of enlightenment, powers of within, we thank you for your blessings on this circle. May we know truth, beauty, peace, and tranquility. Blessed be.
And below, spirits of silence, powers of below, we thank you for your blessings on this circle. May we grow and nurture others with peace and compassion. Blessed be.
Above, spirits of the cosmos, powers of above, we thank you for your blessings on the circle. May we be guided in peace and humility and see the divinity in each other. Blessed be.
North, spirits of north, powers of earth, we thank you for the blessings on this circle. May we have the strength to live lives of peace, service, and love. Blessed be.
West, spirits of the west, powers of water, we thank you for your blessings on this circle. May we have dreams and visions of peace and compassion. Blessed be.
Blessed be. Spirits of south, powers of fire, we thank you for your blessings on this circle. May we desperately long for peace and freedom for all people. Blessed be.
Spirits of the east, powers of air, we thank you for your blessings on this circle. May our minds be filled with images of peace, service, and gratitude. Blessed be.
Blessed be. Candace, may your body and your mind be at perfect peace, and may your spirit now soar to all those places you dreamed it would travel when you were called to return home once more. Hail to the traveler. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
We thank you, Sekhmet, for watching over this circle here with us this evening. And may you guide Candace the traveler on her new journey. Sa Sekhem Sahu.
The circle is open but never broken. May the love of the goddess be ever in our hearts. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be. Thanks everyone for coming and spending this evening with us. Everyone's welcome to come into the social hall for a small reception. We have Candace's special lentil soup, and we can continue to talk about what a wonderful person she was. Thank you again. Love to all.
Mike's going to be unmuted now, and if anyone wants to talk, it is open discussion time.
Thank you everyone for joining us on Zoom.